Rosanna, whom we featured many times on our channel, who's no stranger to terrifying paranormal activity. Her nightmare began after a visit to a notorious haunted house, an idea suggested by her ex-boyfriend, who assumed it was all just a hoax. At the time, both of them treated the experience like a joke. But once inside, something shifted. The atmosphere was heavy, the air felt wrong, and they left the house completely shaken. Unfortunately, they didn't leave alone. An unseen spirit had latched onto Rosanna following her home, and it's been tormenting her ever since. What she experiences now is anything but normal.
Là aussi. Hein? Là aussi. Oh non. Vas-y. Ah, non. Non. Aidez-moi. Ouvre. Ouvre.
From the toilet seat violently shaking on its own to the bathroom door slamming shut and trapping her inside, the supernatural torment in Rosanna's life has only escalated. She's grown somewhat used to ghostly encounters, but this incident was unlike anything before. Being physically locked in the bathroom, without a way out, triggered a deeper fear, especially because Rosanna suffers from claustrophobia. Thankfully, the door eventually creaked open, giving her a way to escape, but the fear she endured was real. And this video serves as a haunting. Sylvia was at home filming one of her usual food review videos. With dreams of becoming a social media star, she had recently started showcasing her love for cooking and taste-testing new recipes. During this particular recording, she was especially excited to try desserts she had never tasted before. Everything seemed normal, until a sudden shift in focus changed the entire video's tone. She paused the review to proudly show off a mirror her children had gifted her for Mother's Day. That innocent moment ended up capturing something far more disturbing than a dessert reaction. Watch this.
Gente, eu vou comer com vocês o melhor brigadeiro da vida, que é da doceria da Lulu. E olha que bonitinho que eu ganhei no Dia das Mães atrasado, mas ela me deu. É espelhinho de bom, deixa eu abrir e mostrar. Olha, que lindo. Deixa eu abrir. Ai, meu Deus. Amei. E agora vamos provar. Eu sou, tipo assim, viciada nesse brigadeiro dela. É simplesmente o melhor brigadeiro que eu já comi na minha vida. Nossa, gente. É muito bom. Muito bom.
If you pay close attention to the mirror's reflection, a faint yet chilling face seems to appear in the background, something that wasn't visible in the room itself. Sylvia later confirmed there was nothing near her at the time that could have caused such an image to appear. The shape didn't match anything nearby, which led many to believe the only explanation was supernatural. Viewers are convinced it was the presence of a ghost, silently staring back at her through the glass. A man had long been plagued by supernatural disturbances. Every night, the haunting would begin around 3 a.m. inside his apartment. Determined to prove the paranormal activity was real, he set an alarm for precisely 3:10 in the morning, hoping it would wake him in time to witness the unexplainable. He woke up in the middle of the night and started recording on camera, and what he captured was absolutely chilling.
Sale conchetumare. Conchetumare.
His bedroom door crept open at an agonizingly slow pace, almost as if some unseen force was deliberately building suspense, teasing that something sinister might be waiting just beyond. Yet, strangely, nothing appeared. Without hesitation, Cameron sprang out of bed and cautiously stepped into the hallway, only to hear the shower suddenly burst to life on its own. With no one else in the apartment, he had no choice but to walk into the bathroom and turn it off himself. Though deeply unnerved, Cameron felt a strange sense of satisfaction. He had finally recorded undeniable evidence for the skeptics, but the night wasn't over. Sleep eluded him, and soon enough, he was forced out of bed once again, this time to investigate something even more disturbing.
¿Qué onda, man? Conchetumare. Mierda. Conchetumare.
The shower had somehow turned itself on again, but this time Cameron refused to get any closer. The moment he stepped into the bathroom, an overwhelming wave of dread washed over him, as if something demonic was silently watching. Trusting his instincts, he abandoned everything, grabbed his car keys, and drove straight to his grandmother's house, desperate for a break from whatever had invaded his home. He stayed away for 2 whole days, and strangely enough, from the moment he returned, the ghostly activity had completely stopped. Whatever haunted him had vanished. This scary video comes from the TikTok user Kyle Anthony. Late one evening, as he sat in the living room with his wife, an unexpected notification popped up on his phone. It was from his home security app, flagging strange movement in the attic above them. Curious and concerned, Kyle opened the feed, and what he saw sent chills down his spine.
Well, the camera in the attic finally recorded something. I am freaked out, and there's no way in hell I'm going up there. Oh my God. Can somebody please tell me what the hell I'm supposed to do? I can't go up there. This shit is crazy.
A cardboard box in the attic began to shake violently, with no obvious reason behind it, unless you consider a supernatural force. Kyle had dealt with unexplainable ghost activity in the past, so the incident didn't come as a complete shock. But unlike others who rushed to investigate, Kyle chose to keep his distance this time. He had never called in ghost hunters before. However, this experience would soon push him to reconsider. After sharing the footage online, some skeptics claimed the culprit was just an animal, maybe a rat or bird. Wanting to prove otherwise, Kyle returned to the attic around 1 a.m. with his camera rolling, and what he captured on his camera is really bone-chilling.
Guys, it was not an animal moving the box. It was not a bird. It was not a rat. It was not a mouse. It was not a snake. It was not my cousin. It was a little star. Pendant. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to go up there and show you. I'm going to show you what it was. Sorry it takes me so long to get up this ladder. It's very rickety, and I'm nervous. All right. See it? It was this little thing. This little thing. This was coming out. That's what people thought they saw. It wasn't a rat. It wasn't a snake. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't a mouse. It wasn't any of those things. That's what it was. Okay? Gosh, dang it. I'm nervous to be up here. But I might as well have a look inside the box. It looks like things got to move around a little bit, but okay, and that's open. That's not fun. But we're gonna finally implement somebody's suggestion. Check it out. Let's just have a look at that.
He showed his followers a strange star-shaped imprint on the attic floor, which was what many believed explained the earlier animal sighting. Oddly enough, the mark matched the exact spot where the disturbance had happened. Taking advice from a commenter, Kyle poured an unknown powder onto the box, hoping it would repel the spirit. But that only fueled the haunting. The room was instantly filled with a heavy, oppressive energy. Creepy noises echoed through the attic, and when Kyle went back downstairs, the disturbances followed. Lights flickered, doors creaked, and the poltergeist seemed to thrive on the fear. By interacting with it, Kyle had made a critical mistake. That same night, he made the decision to call in paranormal experts. But the spirit wasn't done with him yet.
We were just going to bed, and I noticed out the bedroom window right there, that this light is flickering on and off. Here's anybody who thinks that I'm using smart bulbs or something. I don't know if you can see it. Does that look like a smart bulb to you? Anyway, I'm gonna go look at the basement. Let's go look at the basement. Make sure there's nothing in the house. Y'all will see that nobody's flipping the breaker on and off. And as you can see, if somebody was flipping the daggone breaker, these lights will be flickering too. Gosh dang it. Oh my God. Alright, let's go out there. See if it's still happening. Did it stop? No, it's still going. It's still going. Look. It's still going. Look at it. Isn't that crazy? Oh, shit.
Before the investigators could arrive, the ghost left one final warning. A light bulb that wasn't connected to any smart technology started flickering out of control. This wasn't some faulty wire. It was something much darker. Kyle stepped outside to clear his head, only to hear the door behind him slam shut with violent force. That sound echoed through the night like a threat. The haunting had become undeniable. Whatever entity was in his home, it had just claimed full control. A young boy was left home alone one night when he began to hear eerie knocking sounds echoing throughout the house. The noises seemed to come from every direction, growing louder as they led him through the dark hallways. Eventually, they drew him toward the bathroom. And what happened next will leave you disturbed.
Oh! Oh! What was that? What was that? It's in the bathroom. Something came from the bathroom. What was that? What was that? Something came from over here. Let me see if I can match the sound with anything. No. No. That was it. Someone banged on my keys. Someone banged on my keys. The chair! The chair is moving. Gotta stay inside. The chair moved.
The ghostly presence then began interacting with objects inside the room. The spirit violently slammed on the keyboard, as if trying to type something or send a message. The boy, unnervingly aware, quickly picked up on what was happening. But before he could process it further, the desk chair behind him suddenly slid backward, on its own. And the terrifying events didn't stop there. What happened next was truly chilling.
This is not fake. I'm home alone, and all this stuff is happening too. Did you see that? The refrigerator door opened. Oh! 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 The refrigerator door opened. Oh! The door just closed. Oh my. What's that? Okay. Gotta get up. Man, I was kind of pushed there.
Soon after, The poltergeist targeted other parts of the home. It started opening and slamming doors, and even yanked open the refrigerator before mysteriously shutting another door nearby. These unsettling acts filled the child with terror. Though he considered running, he chose to stay, something that turned out to be a terrible mistake.
What was that? Oh! The door. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna go look in there. Oh, it's cold. Something must have touched it. What was that? Oh, it's cold. Let me just put this in. Okay. Nobody's here. What was that? Whoa! I think he locked me in. He locked me in. Help! 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 He locked me in. He locked me in. Help!
Luckily, he managed to escape the room unharmed, though many believe the poltergeist allowed him to. One thing is certain. This entity was far more aggressive than most hauntings we've seen. The footage was sent to a professional exorcist, who arrived without hesitation. The home has since been spiritually cleansed, and no paranormal activity has been reported there since. So, what do you think caused all of this? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. This video is said to have been recorded deep within the eerie Sahyadri Mountains of Maharashtra, India. Due to YouTube's community guidelines, we can't show the full footage, but we can show you a few chilling glimpses. Whether it's real or not is up for debate, but one thing's certain: it's deeply unsettling. A team of paranormal investigators recently picked up a disturbing new case involving a man whose peaceful life took a terrifying turn. Right after a wild party next door, he had come home late, still a bit buzzed, while the neighbors were throwing a rager. At first, it all seemed harmless, until he started hearing whispers, strange laughter, and footsteps echoing from his balcony. But it didn't stop there. The sounds crept inside his living room, and that's when he knew something was seriously off. He blamed the alcohol at first, but this was only the beginning. A few days later, he returned home and clearly saw a shadowy figure standing on that same balcony. The moment he tried to focus on it, gone. Just like that. When the investigators showed up, the homeowner hit them with something chilling. The previous tenant moved out because of ghost problems. And then came the darkest twist. His father had died after falling headfirst from that very balcony. Since then, footsteps had echoed through the dining room, sometimes even full-blown running when no one else was around. Something evil was clearly attached to this place. So, the investigators set up their equipment in the bathroom, rumored to be the core of the activity. What they didn't know was that the real horror hadn't even started.
Oh, what the? Oh, man.
Just minutes into their stakeout, silence filled the home as they positioned themselves between the bedroom, living room, and bathroom. But then it happened. Faint, deliberate knocking echoed from the door that led directly into the living room. Slow, steady, and unnatural.
待って。
When he cautiously opened the door to investigate, there was nothing. No one in sight. That's when he had the idea to set up a camera in the dining room, desperate to catch whatever was haunting the house. What the camera recorded, though, was something far more disturbing than he imagined.
そこで一人検証していきたいと思います。ちょっと。 すいません。今ちょっとこのベランダの方から人の影みたいなの動いた気がするんですけど。気のせい。
Did you catch it? Don't worry. It's easy to miss. Let's replay that footage, this time slowed and zoomed in. In the upper left corner of the doorway, a pale, ghostly face is clearly peeking through. This wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't a smudge or a reflection. It was unmistakably a human-like face. But here's the terrifying part. When they checked that exact corner, there were no ledges, shelves, or furniture to stand on. So how did that face appear there? Could it be the lingering spirit of the man's father, the previous tenant, or perhaps something even more sinister feeding off the energy of the home? We'll leave it up to you to decide.
そこで一人検証していきたいと思います。